These are exercises conducted by American paratroopers from the 173rd Airborne Brigade in northern Italy. Since the end of World War II, soldiers from across the ocean have been protecting Europe from the Soviet and now Russian threat from the air, land, and sea. Will the U.S. withdraw these forces? U.S. President Donald Trump dispelled these doubts during a meeting with the Finnish leader.
We have a lot of troops in Europe, as you know, a lot. And we can move them around a little bit, but no, basically we'll be pretty much set. Go ahead, what's your second?
In this matter, Trump was backed up by U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth.
We're very much heartened by your leadership to get NATO to rise up to 5%, which means they can take primary responsibility for defense of the continent. But that doesn't mean America is abandoning NATO in Europe. But we could look at where our troops are postured, what makes the most sense for America and our NATO allies.
The American leader has once again assured that the U.S. will defend NATO's eastern flank countries if necessary.
I would, yes, I would. They're a member of NATO. I would. They're great people, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to do that.
Currently, there are about 100,000 American troops stationed in Europe. Most of them are permanently deployed in Germany, Italy, Great Britain, Spain, and Turkey. Since the outbreak of full-scale war in Ukraine, nearly 10,000 American military personnel have been stationed in Poland on a rotational basis. These are photos from joint Polish-American Special Forces exercises near Warsaw. What's more, at the beginning of September, during a meeting between Presidents Donald Trump and Karol Nawrocki at the White House, a declaration was made that is important for Poland's security.
Czy amerykańscy żołnierze pozostaną w Polsce?
I think so. I mean, do you know something I don't? I don't know.
These words were spoken at a time when the Americans are reviewing their armed forces around the world. The contingent of forces in Asia will most likely be strengthened, as these troops are intended to deter Chinese imperial ambitions. There are already nearly 76,000 American soldiers in Japan and South Korea, but experts reassure us that Europe should not fear these changes. The Americans cannot ignore Central and Eastern Europe or treat it with nonchalance because it is a very important region of the world. The Russian Federation is in alliance with China, but minor changes are almost certain. Russia's brutal attack on Ukraine and increasingly frequent provocations against NATO's eastern flank countries have proven that American troops are needed closer to the eastern border of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. If the reduction affects any country, it may affect those with large garrisons, such as Germany. If there is a transfer, then what seems obvious is a transfer from Germany. The question is where. We would certainly like it to be Poland, but any country on the eastern flank would be beneficial for us. The report on the review of U.S. forces may be published at the turn of the year, but already, U.S. President Donald Trump is strengthening NATO's eastern flank, sending weapons to Ukraine, and planning to supply Kiev with super-effective Tomahawk missiles.